Hi everyone, so we going to video reporting about wages and salary administration. So this is overview of our topic. Role of human resource management in the payment of salaries. One of HR key roles is ensuring employees receive fair wages, as pay motivates performance and indicates status. Proper pay is crucial for employee satisfaction, retention, and productivity. Aligning salaries with job roles and market standards foster a positive employee-employer relationship and boosts morale. Establishing uniform pay levels within the company and in the community helps retain skilled workers and build a strong, cohesive team for mutual benefit. The report highlights the importance of fair wages in the workplace. It suggests that when employees are paid equitably, it not only motivates them to perform better but also fosters a sense of value and belonging. Fair compensation aligns with market standards and job responsibilities, leading to higher satisfaction, better retention, and increased productivity.
Theories of wages. So, what is theories of wages? So, theories of wages are like different ideas about how much people should be paid for their work. They try to explain why some jobs pay more than others and what factors are important when deciding how much to pay someone. Classical wage theory. The classical wage theory posits that wages are determined by the interaction of supply and demand for labor, similar to how prices are set for goods and services. So, for example, if there are many workers and few jobs, wages will be lower because employers have more people to choose from. The just wage theory, St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas Aquinas' just wage theory emphasizes the ethical obligations to pay workers a fair wage that allows them to live a decent life and meet their basic needs. So, for example, paying workers enough for food, housing, clothing, and not just the bare minimum to survive. The wage fund theory. The wage fund theory proposes that wages are determined by the amount of capital set aside by employers for paying wages, which is the wage fund, divided by the number of workers seeking employment. So, this theory that wages can only increase if the wage fund grows or the number of workers decreases. So basically, it's like saying that wages can only increase if there is more money, or if there is less competition for jobs. Bargaining theory of John Davidson. John Davidson's bargaining theory of wages posits that wages are determined through negotiations between employers and workers. So, John Davidson's bargaining theory says that wages are decided by workers and employers talking and agreeing on a price. This means that wages are not set by some magical formula, or should I say, dili ang pataka-upuan but by the power of each side to negotiate and compromise. The marginal theory. The marginal theory states that wages are determined by the value of the additional output produced by an additional unit of labor, which is the marginal product. So, this theory that workers are paid based a long contribution to the overall production process. The purchasing power theory. The purchasing power theory of wages argues that wages should be sufficient to allow workers to purchase the goods and services they need to maintain a certain standard of living. So, for example, if the cost of food, housing, and transportation increases, wages should also increase so workers can still afford for these necessities or things. Labor theory of value. The labor theory of value suggests that the value of a good or service is determined by the amount of labor required to produce it. So, for example lang niya, kanang if mas prefer nimo ang wooden mag-crafting ka og kanang wooden chair kaysa mag ka sa factory dito kanang mas madali di ba if technology ang gamit. So mas valuable gyud if mag-crafting ra ka sa kay masyara man good if sama na to. The standard of living theory wages. The standard of living of wages posits that wages should be sufficient to allow workers to maintain a certain standard of living which may vary depending on factors like social norms, cultural expectation, and individual needs. So when we talk about the standard of living theory, people should earn more money to live comfortably. So wages should be high enough to cover things like food, housing, and healthcare.
A salary range refers to the minimum and maximum pay an employer is willing to offer on a employee is willing to receive for a specific job and position. A wage and salary survey is a tool used by organizations to collect and analyze data on compensation practice within specific industry or geographic area. Their survey help organizations benchmark their compensation practice against the market, ensuring competitive and fair pay for their employees.
Procedure in conducting wage and salary surveys. Each job title should be accompanied with one paragraph job description so that it is possible to accurately compare jobs. In addition to the base salary, the information should include data on shift premiums, overtime payment, practices, and methods of wage payment. So it emphasizes the importance of including detailed job descriptions alongside job titles to ensure accurate comparisons between different positions. The guide also stresses the need to collect data beyond base salary, including information about shift premiums, overtime pay, and various methods of wage payment. This comprehensive approach promotes fairness and transparency in compensation practices. The first procedure in conducting wage and salary survey is the defining the labor market. Establishing the boundaries of the pertinent labor market is the most critical step in the survey procedure. It involves the selection of the industry, the region or area or the firm to be included in the surveys. It explains that accurately identifying the relevant labor market, including the industry, the region, and the specific firms, is crucial for gathering accurate and comparable data. This step ensures that the survey results are relevant and applicable to the target audience. List of key job positions. List of key jobs and positions common to most firms in the survey. This will ensure a representative sampling of the jobs that will be selected as universal for a particular wage or salary survey. It emphasizes the importance of selecting a list of jobs that are common across most firms within the target industry. This ensures a representative sampling of jobs, making the survey results more applicable and relevant to the overall market. Detailed description of jobs. A detailed description of the key jobs and positions that are to be included in the survey and that is common to most firms or industries. Key jobs are labor grades that are comparatively stable in duties and responsibilities. It emphasizes the importance of providing a comprehensive description of the key jobs that are common across most firms or industries. These key jobs are considered stable in terms of their duties and responsibilities, making them suitable for comparison across different organizations. Collection of salary data. This may be done through a set of questionnaires and supplemented by interviews to get the accurate information. The information must be able to pinpoint the problem area that has to be addressed by the compensation level, compensation structure, and the terms of payment plan. It highlights that this step involves using a combination of questionnaires and interviews to gather accurate information. The collected data should be able to identify any issues or areas that need to be addressed regarding compensation levels, compensation structure, and payment plans.
The development of wage and salary structure. The design and operation of wage and salary structure is the concern of management and employees. Wage and salary structure is the hierarchy of jobs to where the pay rate is attached. The positions are allocated in pay grades according to the job evaluation results and its relations with the pay system derived from the results of the salary survey. The jobs are ranked in ascending to descending order according to their importance and based on the points or rank earned in the job evaluation program conducted by HRD and the committee created for the development of a more responsive pay system. So, kaning wage and salary structure, it's a system nga ga-organize sa mga jobs based sa ilang rank and naka-attach ang sweldo sa each position. Both management o employees mag-work together para ma-make sure nga fair o organize ang salary system. Dahil ang mga position kay gi-assign into pay grades based sa results sa job evaluation. Meaning, tanaw nila kung usa ka dako o unsa ka importante ang trabaho. Then, i-connect nila sa pay system using data gikan sa salary survey. Basically, mo ni ang process nga nag-determine kung pila ang sweldo based sa trabaho o ang comparison sa other companies. Then, girank ang trabaho from pinaka-importante down to the less important. So, higher rank means higher pay. Ang HRD o ang committee ang nag-handle ani nga process para ma-ensure nga ang pay system is fair and responsive sa tanan.
Wage structure design. The design of the wage and salary structure is the establishment of the job classes and rate ranges. All jobs within a class are treated in the same way for purpose of economical administration. Pay structure ranges should be used in developing a schedule for both rank and file employees, technical and managerial positions. So, the wage structure design is essentially a plan for how employees' pay is organized within a company. It groups jobs into categories or classes, and all jobs in the same class are paid similarly. This approach helps streamline the company's financial management.